morning. Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia, where you will be learning about various concepts and topics of your academics. I am Deepika Valecha, Assistant Professor in SST College. Today we will be learning about a particular topic in Securities and Portfolio Analysis subject of TY BCBI Semester 6. The topic name is Risk and Return Relationship. An investor invest in various securities. Two major concepts are related with the particular securities, which includes risk and return. As an investor, it is very important to understand the concept of risk, because when we make the investment in particular security, we are concerned about the how much returns we are going to get, and also how much risk factor is associated with that particular security, whether the security is that of the high level risk or medium level or low level. Now basically there is a direct relationship between risk and return, as and when if the particular security involves high level of risk, the return is also the which an investor gets, that will be also more, and vice versa, because there is a direct relationship between risk and return. Now let us understand what are the various concepts which we will be learning in this particular video lecture. Today we will be learning about meaning of risk, what are the different types of risk, which are the different methods for the measurement of risk factor in a particular security, and also which are the different formulas which are associated with probability distribution, and we will be learning with the help of a particular example. First of all, let us understand what exactly the meaning of risk is. Risk refers to uncertainty. That means it refers to uncertainty about the deviation. That means the difference which may occur in long term, or it may be a medium term, in a particular securities expected returns. As an investor, if I expect that I'll be getting 10,000 rupees as my returns from a particular security, it may not be possible because of the various factors of risk associated with it. It may be a market failure, it may be a credit risk failure, or there may be in many more other factors. So here an investor needs to identify which are the risk factors associated with a particular security, then only he should make the investments. Now coming to the what are the different types of risk involved. We have two types of risk, which is systematic risk and unsystematic. Now systematic risk is something which an investor is say for example, he is already aware about, like it may be the possibility in long run there may be a chance of a risk factor involvement. It may include market risk, like there are the fluctuations in the market prices of the shares and securities. So an investor is aware and he is well prepared for a market risk, like there are the chances like whether if the price of the particular security may increase or may decrease. Then we have interest risk. As the interest rates fluctuates on the floating securities, so there is no surety about how much rate of interest or how much rate of dividend a person is going to get on a particular security. It also depends upon the particular functioning of the security, or else you can say the demand and supply factors of shares in a stock exchange. Then we have purchasing power risk. Basically it depends upon the inflation rate of the country, because as the inflation rate increases, the purchasing power of one person will definitely decline. Reason being, the purchasing capacity of a particular investor may decrease due to the increase in the inflation. So there are different these are the different examples of the systematic risk. Coming to the unsystematic risk, unsystematic, which is something which is not planned, it may come like as per the situations. Just for example, recently we have COVID-19 pandemic situation. This was a kind of a risk which we were not planned for. So that kind of a risk may comes as an example under the unsystematic risk. It also includes business risk. It includes internal and external risk. What is the meaning of internal risk? The risk which is associated with the internal factors of the company, that means internal risk. For example, the employees of the companies may go on the strike, or there may be a problems in internal problems, internal environmental problems in the company, that will lead to the internal risk. External risk is something which is associated with the external organizations or external factors. Say for example, it may be a change in the government policy, a change in the export import policies, and there are various other factors like market failures and all. So these are the external risk associated. Now we'll be coming to the financial risk. What are the different examples of financial risk? It includes credit risk and also currency risk, country risk, and liquidity risk. All these are the types of risk which are associated with the finance, like change in the rate of dollar rate with that of the Indian rupees. That is something which is the currency risk, you can say. And a credit risk, that refers to the credit worthiness of a particular investor, credit CIBIL score, you can say. And also liquidity risk, like there are the possibility where an investor is in shortage of the funds so that he can invest in particular security. So here we have seen the various types of the risk involved in investing the securities. Now coming to the next topic, which is measurement of risk. How an investor can assure himself that he is quite in position to measure the risk associated with securities, so that he can make a proper planning for the investments options available to him. See, we have different techniques in which we have probability techniques to measure the risk associated with a particular security. We have different methods in which we can calculate with the help of variance, standard deviation, and beta factor. Now let us see what is exactly the meaning of standard deviation, and also what are the formulas associated, how we can calculate the value of standard deviation and expected returns. Expected returns basically is to get the information like how much we will be earning in as per the probability technique. Now, the formula for calculating standard deviation and mean refers to expected returns, like how much an investor is expecting to get the returns from a particular security over a particular duration. See, there are the various assumptions on which we calculate the amount, or else the returns in a particular duration, right? The formula for calculating expected returns, that is mean, is summation of xi into probability of xi. Now what is xi? Xi refers to the returns which are given in a particular question over a period of time. It may be for 5 years, it may be for 10 years. The amount of return which is expected from a particular company, that will be given, and the probability factor, like probability that I am going to get that much of a return, that will also be given in the question. To calculate the average return, what we are supposed to do, we need to multiply the a particular return of a particular year with that of the respective probability value, and finally we need to make a summation of it. That means we need to make a total of it. Second formula is, which is a formula of standard deviation. Standard deviation is something which is a tool which is required to measure the deviation, that is difference between the securities, what is the difference between what we are getting and what we were expected to get. That is the particular tool with the help of which we can identify the risk involvement in a particular security. Now the interpretation of a particular data, like what we get the value, will be if the standard deviation is more, then the security is having the higher level of risk, because in a particular answer we are getting the deviations more. That means higher the standard deviation, higher will be the risk factor involved, and vice versa. And while interpreting for if we are comparing two securities, for interpreting the results like which security is good, we need to, on the basis of, if we are giving the answer on the basis of expected returns, we should select the security with a higher rate of higher expected returns. And if we are giving the interpretation on the basis of standard deviation, we should select the security which is having less standard deviation comparatively. Reason, if the standard deviation is less, the risk factor will be less. Now let us understand expected returns today with the help of one example. We have a company A data in which we need to calculate the returns on security, that is expected returns. The return for 5 years and the corresponding probability values are given. Just we need to calculate expected returns. As the I already explained you about the formula. The formula is xi, that is returns of a particular security, multiplied with that of the probability value, respective probability value, and then we need to make the summation of it. Now see the solution for the same. As you can see in the table, I have already mentioned 5 years, like first column is that of the year, we have 5 years. Then returns, what was there in the question, we have already we have added the returns value, probability value, and in the last column I have mentioned a formula of expected returns. The formula is summation of returns multiplied with that of the probability. So if we multiply first for the first value of year 1, that is 6 multiplied by 0.1, we will be getting 0.6, and accordingly for 5 years we have calculated the values, and lastly we need to make a total of it. So from total of the last column we are getting 8. So that refers to the expected returns of a particular security of company A is 8%. That means on an average a company is giving 8% returns over the last 5 years. I hope you understood the concept of expected return with the help of a simple example. In the further videos we will be learning about standard deviation and also beta factor. Thank you so much. Thank you.